Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is going to be an update on the Sui trade where we first highlighted our bid zone at around $8.60 to $1.69 and our partial take profit at around $3.15 to $3.50. Now, in the previous video, I discussed the bid opportunities for those of you who are trading this leverage as well as those of you who are trading Sui on spot. If you're trading the spot, I gave you guys deeper bid opportunities to gun for because you really want to focus on the higher take profit targets that we highlighted for you guys at around 7 to 770. If you're trading leverage, we discussed how you can take advantage of the volatility on the 4-hour time frame. So what I'm going to do now is play a quick clip from the previous video so that way we are all on the same page. For those of you who are trading leverage and have a bigger size position or you're oversized, you may want to keep an eye on this position and babysit it. Maybe shave some profits. You gotta keep an eye on the trend because we may not come all the way up to 350 before we see the pullback. You want to watch this trend over here. At the moment, we are holding the 1-hour dynamic. But if we lose the 1-hour dynamic, we are likely going to see this come down. This level is likely going to update by the time I put this video out. It's likely going to confluence with the bottom of our take profit zone over here, coming in at around $3.12. If it confluences with that level and then we lose that level, you're gonna have a perfect M-like formation breaking down on a support level and a trend indicator level, giving you an opportunity to exit and maybe reposition lower. How low? Well, if you're trading this on leverage, you may want to look towards the 4-hour time frame and keep an eye on the 4-hour dynamic, which is coming in at around $2.85. That's where you want to position. Okay, so here we are back on the live charts, but I've rewinded the price action so that way we can walk through how things played out. I'm going to hit the play button now. We can see price coming down after putting in that M-like formation, testing the 1-hour dynamic. The first time it bounces off, and then we begin to see weakness. We lose the 1-hour dynamic, and you see price make its way down. And remember, our bid level was $2.80, right? And there you go. Came down to the $2.85 region, and price bounces right off that, right? And this, by the way, happened to be exactly our 4-hour dynamic level that we had forecasted price bouncing off. And guys, I want to emphasize the importance of planning and forecasting a move before trading it. I highly advise against putting on trades or making a plan while the trade is happening, especially when you're leverage trading. Your emotions will get the better of you. You won't be thinking straight. But if you pre-plan the trade, like how we did in the previous video, you'll see that your accuracy will be a lot higher over the long run. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are leverage trading or you want to practice your leverage trading, I highly recommend taking advantage of the promo Bitfinex is currently running. If you deposit 200 USDT, you get 150 USDT back. That's pretty much your entire USDT back. Unmissable deposit bonus is exactly right. You can take advantage of this by using the Mango link that you'll find in the description below. Really good way to practice your leverage trading and also buffer against any losses. So back on over to the live charts now. We're looking at the 4-hour, and as you guys can see, we bounced off the 4-hour dynamic. We went up to the top of the range over here, came back down and bounced again. So you could have essentially played the same trade twice, right? And this is a really good way for those of you who are trading leverage to be efficient on your position building. What do I mean by that? Well, if you shave some profits on the top over here, get back into position over here, shave profits again back on the top over here, get back into position, what you're essentially doing is reducing your cost basis, right? The profits that you take each time is reducing the cost of entering your initial trade. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that price actually stops at this take profit zone. There's only a high probability that you're taking advantage of with your leverage, right? Which is why I specified that those of you who are trading spot, you don't want to get too cute with this, right? Because you don't want to lose position on your main allocation. If you're trading leverage and you're over allocated and have a bigger position size, you can afford to do this, right? Because you're reducing your risk, reducing your cost basis, and it works out in the long run because you don't care all that much if price actually breaks through this resistance zone eventually, like I'm expecting it to, and continues on upwards to our next target, which is is all the way at $7.70. So guys, knowing when to get cute with your take profits and knowing when not to is really, really important. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying these videos where I break down how to manage both your leverage trades as well as your spot positioning, then please let me know by hitting that subscribe button, because that's one way I can gauge whether or not there's actual interest for these videos. And more importantly, it really motivates me to keep coming back here to do these every single day. Alright, so now for the exciting bit. Price has bounced off the 4-hour dynamic once more and it's made its way to the top of the range. Now the big question is, do we finally break this range? Because if we do, the next target is only at around $7.50. Earlier this morning, I noticed that we are putting in bullish divergence. Right over here, you guys can see that on the RSI, we are putting in lower lows on over to RSI support at the 50 zone, while price is putting in higher lows. So we have bullish divergence on 4-hour dynamic trend support, right? That is a recipe for a bounce. Now, will that momentum be enough to take price past the zone over here? If we look back on over to the dashboard, guys, and we filter out Sui like we did last time, we're going to see that this time around, the 4-hour volatility has compressed. It's gone from red to orange. This is a good sign. Now, once the trend flips from neutral back to long, we will have the momentum as well as the volatility profile to push price back over the top of the range. If you look at the flags too, guys, we have bullish Ichimoku that triggered 2 hours ago on the 4-hour time frame. We have bullish Ichimoku on the 12-hour, bullish Ichimoku on the daily as well as the 2-day, while trend is long across all of the pertinent time frames. The only thing that we have to worry about is the high volatility on the mid time frames. This is a tad bit of a concern, but high volatility going into resistance could be exactly what we need to break that take profit zone. And my oh my, I don't mean to distract from the Sui video, but my alert just went off and Bitcoin has broken $90,000. And guys, this highlights the importance of making a plan and sticking to the plan. Over here at Mango, we got into our Bitcoin trade at $17,000. And once we broke and claimed the bi-weekly dynamic, our plan was to stay in our trade as long as we're holding the bi-weekly dynamic. Things got shaky leading into September, but we held the bi-weekly dynamic, and as a community, we held on to our trade. And now we reap the rewards of that discipline. Sui, guys, you need to do the same thing. In fact, Bitcoin was sitting at a similar resistance slash take profit zone to Sui. So if Bitcoin has now broken this resistance zone, I am gonna bet that Sui is likely gonna break this resistance zone as well. So now's not the time to get cute, guys. Sui is likely gonna break this $3.50 region and make its way all the way up to $7.50. But remember, these are only my technical targets. I've already discussed how Sui could very well make its way up to $30. I just don't have technical targets for that at the moment. So for now, we're going to stick to our TA and look towards our next target, $7 to $7.50. Now, for those of you who are trading this on spot, I want to talk about how you can look to add to your position in case we do get a dip anytime soon. Remember, if you're trading this on spot, you want to be looking towards the 12-hour dynamic zone. Now, if you don't have access to the dynamic, here are the levels of the dynamic at the time of this video. The top of the dynamic is $2.69. The bottom of the dynamic is $2.59. The first test of the 12-hour dynamic, guys, is a high probability bounce. It'll be a good spot to add to your position provided we get there. Now remember, this is a dynamic level, so it will update as price unfolds. And I'll keep you guys updated as this level moves. So make sure you hit that notification icon if you haven't yet. And hey, if I don't get the time to do a YouTube video, I will most definitely post a update on my Twitter, just like I did for the 4-hour dynamic bid zone level. So make sure you're following me at Sean Dexter, because it's a lot quicker for me to do an update on Twitter if I don't get the time to do a video. That being said, I want you guys to not lose focus on our higher time frame targets, which is all the way up at the $7.50 region. Sui at the moment looks to be bull flagging up against our current take profit zone. We are likely going to smash right through it, considering what Bitcoin has already done, and make its way all the way up to this level. Once we get there, we will reassess what price is doing with the updated information, and we will likely have updated targets for even higher, right? But one step at a time. Just this move from $3 to $7 is more than a 2x. So we don't need to get greedy. We'll keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress-free. The trade is already going fantastic, and I'll be here with you guys throughout the way. That's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and manage my other trades. I'll see you guys in our Discord. Keep it mango. Ciao.